Hey, I'm Ben Wong, the host of the Young Trep podcast and the CEO of Kids CEO Media. I am nearly 15 years old. I founded my idea for the Kids CEO podcast all the way back in 2018. My entire life, I had been wanting to be an entrepreneur. I would sell things under my cabinet, like foil swans, even like foil bowls. I would pick avocados and other fruits and I'd sell them on the streets. And finally, I decided to take that money and put it into stocks. And after some success, I decided to create a podcast so I can share my story with everyone else. I did a summit for the podcast, which eventually led up into the Young Trep podcast, which I run now. And at Young Trep, I interview some of our world's greatest experts and entrepreneurs to help all kids build the ultimate entrepreneur lifestyle. I'm currently part of 3 different types of projects. So one, we have the Young Trep podcast, and that's my free podcast. Anyone can go listen. And I interview thought leaders, entrepreneurs, experts, and it's all to help you all build the ultimate entrepreneur lifestyle. And then moving over to Kids CEO, that's kind of my open arm to do whatever my heart desires. So I do things like events like Kids CEO Summit. I do Kids CEO communities on Clubhouse, on Facebook. And then we move over to Rich Kids Global, and Rich Kids Global are partnered with 2 teams in the UK and Australia, and we put together programs that are amazing for kid entrepreneurs. When I started my podcast back in 2018, the original Kids CEO podcast, podcasts for kids, especially podcasts by kids, were still super rare. Now there's a gazillion different podcasts for kids, even by kids, but back then it was still a new thing. Podcasts were still relatively a new thing. So I was really just trying to solve one problem for me, which was instead of having to help 100 people, 100 of my friends set up their own stock accounts, I could do it all by just recording myself and putting it out there as a podcast. My customers are all young entrepreneurs, whether they're experienced entrepreneurs, whether they're brand new entrepreneurs, or even if they're kids who want to be entrepreneurs, right? And the problem here is that there are so many ambitious, curious kids, but they're all kind of isolated and they're not often given the resources to thrive. I'm super lucky to grow up in a family with the resources where I could live up to my potential. But I know a lot of other kids don't have those same opportunities. So I wanted to allow a relatively inexpensive, affordable way for all my customers, which are the young entrepreneurs, to be able to help themselves and thrive. I go to a homeschool charter school program, so that really allows me to be able to make my own flexible schedule and be able to fully dictate my life. My biggest thing with time management is not making sure that I'm getting too much work done in a day, but making sure that I get enough work done, quality work done in a day without sacrificing other parts of my life, like social life, exercise, and most importantly, my own happiness and having fun. So I think I've just done a pretty good job of setting time blocking and setting good habits like going to sleep on time, waking up early. My biggest skill that I've learned from running my business definitely comes in the ability to talk to people, especially in interviews. I know I was a pretty shy kid. I would consider myself still a shy kid, but I was really able to, through the podcast, able to force myself to go out of my comfort zone and talk to these people. And the biggest part was that I loved doing it and I had my own motivation. And this really helped me today build that skill of being able to hold a conversation and continue to be curious and be an active listener. My current goal is really just to be one of the biggest influencers in the realm of kid entrepreneurship. I think it's still a relatively new niche, but it's important because, a large population of our world is kids, all of whom have the potential to create their own business, be an online influencer. And we just have to help people tap into their potential, and that's what I want to be here for. The biggest advice I could give any young entrepreneur out there is to take opportunities and make opportunities. It's only a couple words, but it's so important. Your entire success will be dictated off the opportunities that you take and the opportunities that you make yourself. You can follow me on Instagram at @officialbenjaminwong, or you can visit my website, benjaminwong.co. Thank you, Kebloom, for having me today, and I hope you check me out.